This morning I was reflecting over a few things that I used to obsess over when we started our business. I'm very brainy, so I used to get obsessed and go deeper because I want to find the secret sauce for everything. Like what is the one thing that is gonna make it? And after making more than 7 figures online, we have a little bit of perspective now. So I just wanted to create a video where I rate the 6 things that I used to obsess over in order of importance, so that maybe this will shed some light on what you might want to focus on, what you want to stop focusing and obsessing over, and move forward with your business. At 6th place, we have graphic design and video editing. Now, I know that I run the risk of casting a blank statement on this stuff, but this has been my experience, so this is what I'm going to share. I remember at the beginning, we were trying to achieve perfection. Of course, that didn't stop us. Perfection stops many people, but we always wanted our content, our offer, our website to look the best. And I remember the first investment we made was about $5,000 for a brand new website. So that website looked amazing and everything we created looked amazing. All of the videos were properly edited, graphics, the color palettes, the logo. We paid someone about $1,000 for a logo. That is the first thing we did. So I think we invested $5,000–6,000 on a facade, basically. And that didn't bring us any money at all. It was just looking amazing. So the first thing I would tell you is that graphic design is not important when you're starting out. It is important if you are selling visuals, if you need to look perfectly put together, depending on what you do, depending on your niche. But for example, we used to spend a lot of money for video editing as well, which wasn't just, hey, put together my videos. It was more like, let's hire an agency to do an amazing job and make our videos more engaging. Like after spending $300 per video, the videos looked fantastic, but that didn't help us sell more of our products. The website didn't help us sell more of our products. I remember joining our first mastermind where people were making more money than us, and I looked at sales pages, I looked at checkout pages that were so ugly, that were making so much money, and that was the first realization to me that told me, oh my God, I was obsessing over the wrong things. We needed some kind of pleasing visuals for our world, but that surely wasn't the one thing that made our fortune, right? So I placed it at last because it's really not important. If you say something genuine, if you create offers with your heart, if you really come across as somebody that knows what they're doing, how it looks, it's pretty secondary. At the 5th place, there is audience size. This is one of the first things we obsessed over. We need to have a big audience, because the more big the audience, the more money we'll have. This is what we believed. Arguably at the beginning, we didn't have a business plan at all. The business plan was literally have a big audience. And I can tell you right now, we were so silly to think that we just need to grow an audience that we didn't sell anything for the first 1.5 into our online project. It was basically insecurity of, not being clear of what we were doing. And we grew an audience of more than I think it was 10,000 subscribers on YouTube before we even sold anything. And 10,000 subscribers on YouTube is a huge amount of people. You can fill up a stadium with them. Like, why did I think that was not enough? And even if you have like 1,000 people, it's a lot of people. It's not about the quantity, it's about the type of people you attract and how you're connecting with them. So audience size, it's one of the things that people should not obsess over at all. If you have about 100 people in your audience And I'm talking about from your contact list in your phone to your Instagram account, your Facebook account, YouTube, social media, all of it put together. If you arrive to 100 people, you already have a solid base for a potential business. And if you are selling high ticket, you can make six figure in a couple of months just by leveraging that list in the right way. So audience size is definitely not something to obsess over at all. And it just disheartens me when I see people just focusing on that for years because they think, I'm gonna live off the ad revenue. This is what I believed, and this is just not the case. But audience is one of the most important things you can grow, but the size of it doesn't matter. Before I move forward on the next factor, there is something I'm super excited to tell you about. Alessia and I have put together a series that we call Activated. And we just did it because we wanted for you to jump into a place where you can listen to empowering messages to get better at branding, get better at your content, make sure your content activates people and switch on your sales. Because when you start realizing what's really important to communicate to your audience, to articulate it in a way that makes sense for them, then you start getting activated yourself to sell more. This is gonna stay free for the rest of January. And if you want to also upgrade to VIP, you'll get the chance to stay 1 hour with Alessia and I answering live to any questions you might have about branding, content, and online sales. So if you're ready to get activated, click the link in the description box below. At the fourth place, we have funnels, strategies, and tech. And it makes me laugh because a few years ago, this was the one thing that I was obsessing over. That was the only thing I was obsessing over. I remember the first time I discovered funnels, I remember I was so excited because I thought that was the key. And don't get me wrong, funnels, a strategy, they are so important in any business, right? But if that is the only thing you obsess over, what you are creating is a transactional machine. It can be a business. There are many businesses that are built around funnels for client acquisition, systems for delivery, and as soon as the traffic stops, the business disappears. So it can totally work if you build a machine based on that. It could work for service-based businesses, but if we're talking about you growing a personal brand, that is a completely different story because you are trying to build an audience that follows you, and you are basically the funnel. You are what people buy, depending on, of course, what offers you have, but it doesn't, at that point, when you have a personal brand, when you know exactly why you want people to follow you, why you want people to follow you for a specific reason, and how you can help them, the strategy that you adopt becomes completely irrelevant. And therefore, it's not something that you should obsess over. It's something that you should, of course, learn and implement, because it's like your CEO mind in place when it comes to, okay, what are the offers that I need to put into place? How do I plan them? How do I promote them? What is the cadence? What's the calendar? What's the agenda? That is important. But the way you do it, if it's a self-liquidating funnel, if it's a challenge funnel, if it's a webinar funnel, that doesn't matter. Whatever you will use, if everything else that I'm going to talk about is in line, none of it will matter because they'll all work. Every strategy on the face of this planet will work as long as it's aligned to who you are and you are sure of where you're going. So I don't know how I would go back and tell myself this years ago, but I don't think I would have listened. I would still learn every funnel, every strategy there is in place. Sometimes we have to go through make mistakes and splatter your face on the wall to understand things. I remember we stressed out so much about funnels that every time we had to come up with a new launch, it was a new add-on put to it. Like, what if we add an order bump there? What if we have a 2 upsells? What if we then sell this to that? It was a lot of mechanical work put in place that basically sucked out the soul out of everything. And when you make a transaction, it's almost like, okay, done, let's do it again. It became this vicious circle of looking for the transaction more than let's open the doors to our people, which it sounds way more open, way more energetic than, okay, what is the best way to make money, right? That is the vibe. So if you obsess over funnels, and I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. They're fun. You can totally make a lot of money with them. But if you're building a personal brand, that shouldn't be your obsession. That's why it's at place number 4. At the 3rd place, I have put offers. Your offers are what people will eventually buy when they get into your world. And they're so important because it's the vehicle that you use to bridge the gap from where your audience is to where they want to be. So arguably, it's one of the most important things, and I think offers are a crucial part of somebody's business. But I mean it in a sense that I don't think that is the only thing that you should worry about. If you're obsessing over offers, that becomes your obstacle. If you obsess over, oh, should I create a high ticket offer, or should I have a mid-ticket course, or should I have a low ticket membership, a mid-ticket membership, should I have a mastermind? If that becomes your obsession, it becomes unhealthy. And I know this for experience, because I feel like, especially when we work with clients, we had to change many things in our model to make it sustainable. At some point, it's not about the money anymore. It's about how do I make the money, right? And this is how it is at the moment for us. Like, I don't want to work with an unaligned client because I know it's going to ruin my life and I'm going to feel stressed and I wouldn't have the energy to promote the same offer that I think it's amazing. So when you come up with offers, it's important for you to think about the structure of it. Like, what would make you feel amazing, what will make you feel energetic to promote it. In that case, offers are an incredible tool for you to design around you first. And also it's the bridge for your clients to get results. I love creating offers for us, for our clients, because for me, it's creative time. It's like playing with Lego. After learning so many things over the years, I have lots of, let's say, words in the vocabulary to put together a sentence. An offer is my sentence. And whenever we have a client with a heavy offer, with something that says, I don't really want to sell this because, yeah, it's scalable, but I kind of hate it. This is sometimes what happens. It's amazing to reframe and step back and see, hang on a minute. Who am I? Who do I help? And how do I want to help them? And then we sit down and think about an offer that it's exhilarating when we have it on paper, and we cannot wait to go out and market it, because when people buy it, it will be a party, right? This is the idea of creating an offer. This is how joyful it can become once you don't obsess over it. You start designing it around your lifestyle, around the respect, around your energy, and how you can serve your clients better. At 2nd place, I've put content. Where would we be without content? I mean, you can have the best offer, the best system, the beautiful graphic design, beautiful videos, but if you never publish them, or if you don't know how to create content, who's gonna know about you? Nobody. And most of the people out there, the most talented people out there, sometimes they feel like the best kept secret in the world. They have amazing results with clients. They know their stuff. They feel confident about what they're doing. They just struggle creating content. And I feel like content is one of the main things that when building a personal brand, you have to nail down, because content is just your shop window. It's what people see about you. It builds your reputation, it builds your brand, it shows people your vibe, who you are, what you're all about, and how you can help them. Content, though, it's not just about just getting over with the fact that I need to publish content online, and any content would do the trick. That is the best way to burn out on content. Like, if some people don't like content, but they don't like it because they feel like they have to become someone that they're not. When content becomes about your pillars on who you want to be known for, and you're not pretending to be someone that you are not. You're not pretending to be this big shot that needs a million different cuts in your videos, or graphic design, or looking perfect and put together, like trying to be someone else. When you don't do that, content becomes just a transmission of who you are. But most importantly, your content should not just be content for the sake of content. It should be content because that is the one vehicle that connects who you are with your audience. Your audience will get to know your vibe, but also will get to know that if they need their problem solved, you're the person they need to go to. And that is one of the main reasons why I feel like you should obsess over content, not in the way that, oh, I need to create more, unless you're not posting at all. In that case, yes, you have to create more. But is what type of content do I need to create? Not just to nurture my people, not just to educate them, but to also activate them, to call them to rise, and to make them understand what they need for them to go from where they are to where they want to be. And if you're building a personal brand because you want to serve people, because you've got experience, because you've done something remarkable, and you just want to share with the world how you've done it, and then help others that want the same results, this is so important that you understand that content is not just there to make friends. Content is there for you to tell them, this is what I've done, this is how I've done it, this is who I am. If you want a solution, you gotta buy from me. I can tell you what you need, but if you actually want to achieve what you want, you gotta invest. This is psychology. Nobody does anything unless there is skin in the game. And your offers are the bridge, the solution to the problems that your audience have. It's simple as that. And I feel like many people treat content like this. They become people pleasers. Like we've built an entire YouTube channel filled with how-to videos that were unbelievably good. They are unbelievably good. But we understood this concept way too late. Because we were afraid of selling, we didn't understand that really what people need is not just a video that they can do whenever they want. We've got 700 plus videos on the channel. We probably saved all the problems in the world with those videos if that was the solution. But the solution is not that. The solution is your offers. That is why when we started shifting our content from here's a taste of what we can do for you, the reason you feel this way is because of X. If you want to fix X and get to Y, you need to buy my course. When that simple concept was infused into every single piece of content that we created, people started buying by themselves because our content pre-sold them on us, our method, and what did they need to buy if they want their problem fixed. Simple as that. Many people get this wrong, many people don't do it, and that's why their content doesn't pre-sell for them. But anyway, this is only a second place. Content is so crucial, it's so important, it's almost everything. But there is something that is a first place to me. The first place is personal energy. When you realize that in order to be someone people want to follow, when you want to be someone that people want to pay or travel around the world just to be with you, you want to become who you really are, like more than what you think you are. You want to become someone. You want to become the one, actually, not just someone. And this is not just you thinking that you are the best of the world, like bragging or becoming cocky or anything like that. I hope that is not what you think I mean. That is not what I mean. What I mean is, I want you to be confident in your experience, in what you've built so far, because what you've built so far, it's remarkable. But if nobody knows it, you're not helping anyone. If you don't have the courage to really say what you think, content becomes heavy. If you don't have the self-respect to create offers that benefit both you and your future clients, you're gonna get abused. So you need to have personal energy, personal power in order to be someone with standards and boundaries to say, this is who I am, this is what I've done. And that energy should permeate every single thing you do. Of course, you need all of the elements that I talked about before in different percentages. But when you are clear who you are and you don't create content just because you want to become a celebrity, you don't create content because you just want to check the box. When you create content because you know you have a vision, you know you have an amazing product or service that you want to sell to people, that's when people find you and decide they want to buy from you. That is it. And sometimes, in order to be you, in order to be perceived by someone that's got ideas, unique ideas, especially now that we are in this AI world where even videos are fake and they look 100% real, we crave authenticity, we crave genuinity. So sometimes I'm thinking that I should go the other way, like make everything ugly, make typos on my post, don't edit videos that much, like make it ugly because people are waiting for the real thing. And you need to decide to become the real thing, which means not becoming someone you are not, but removing all of these layers of who you think you need to become to truly be honest with your audience and say, here's what I've done, here's who I am, here's how I can help you, and actually help people for free and under a paywall. But there's got to be both. And you should be courageous enough to realize it and say, okay, it's enough. I've been nurturing my audience for such a long time. What did I get out of it? Get frustrated. I wake up every morning thinking about, oh, I have to do a piece of content that I don't want to because otherwise the YouTube algorithm is not going to push my next video. Who cares? That should not be your focus. Your focus should be you taking care of you and your audience in whatever way, in whatever capacity, it's aligned with you. With content that permeates from your heart, from your fire, translating into offers that you are excited to sell, excited to promote because you know you're gonna transform lives. Then whatever strategy you use doesn't matter because it's always gonna work. It doesn't matter how your videos look like because they can see it's you. You see how now everything makes sense? And this is why, to me, this morning I woke up and said, I need to record this video just to share how I feel, the priorities of what you need to be obsessed about when building a personal brand and why it's so crucial that you do that in sequence. And if you think that you are nurturing too much in your content and you'd like more sales coming out of it, maybe you are neglecting the one type of content that you need for this to happen. And if you want to know what I mean, I unpack the whole concept in this video right here.